Oh, ish. Oh. I know he didn't do it, baby.
Whoa, where you going?
No, I'm about to go make these drop balls.
Yo, welcome to the Black Currency Podcast. I am Bradley BLO Thomas, marketing professional at a biotechnology company by day, producer MC by night. I'm a Captain Life.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Opal Elisa, Director of Multicultural Business Strategy within the financial industry by day, poet, and MC by night.
It's your boy, Corey, Dashed Up Whitmore. My day is my night. You know, when you see me, it's going to be Media 22, Studio 22, Radio 22. I'll leave it at that.
All day, every day. So
Goals.
all the people that we have a very special guest here. We have, in my opinion, one of the OGs. If you don't really know who this individual is, I'm going to talk about specifically in the Madison area, even though he is international. You don't know who he is, you're tripping. He's a promoter, manager, consultant, entertainment writer, whole etc. There's so many things that we're going to get into today. I don't want to talk for another 15 minutes, just all the things that he's done, but because he's humble enough, he won't tell you about it. But I want to introduce my brother, one of my inspirations. I always look up to this individual, Will Rinehart, aka Chill.
What's going on, everybody?
Welcome.
How you doing?
Oh man, I'm great, man. It's a pleasure to be here. I really enjoy this platform. You guys are doing a great job.
Oh, appreciate it, man. So another thing we want to add too for all the listeners, get you a notebook. Every time we talk to somebody who has knowledge and has gems, you need to have a notebook ready, because this brother is going to drop some gems like he always does, even in just regular everyday conversation when I get a chance to actually see him. So one of the first things, Chill, I want to ask you about is how did you start? What influences your grind and your hustle to do what you do every single day in all these different categories related to music? What was it originally that sparked you to kind of do that?
My father, man. A lot of people don't know, but my father was a great jazz musician. He played with Diana Washington, Diana Ross, Oscar Lindsay, Ramsey Lewis. A lot of you can look him up. They actually have a discography on him. They teach about him in universities. His name was Willie Jones. He's a great jazz pianist, Willie Jones Jr. And he had passed when I was right when I was born. So I never really got a chance to really know him personally. But throughout the years, my mother, she was a singer. And, all of those traits, I believe it just passed down to me. So throughout the years, I've always had this passion for music. And a lot of people don't know I used to be a singer. That's how I really started.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I actually was a state champion two years in a row in high school.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got a degree in vocal instruction, teaching people how to sing. But at the same time, I went into the business aspect of marketing. I got so deep into it where over the years, I saw the transition that happened in the music industry from how we used to do it to how we do it today.
Right.
And I saw how, in my humble opinion, how technology a lot of people feel that technology has made this industry better. But in my opinion, I think it's made it 10 times worse. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Yes, you're able to go on the internet. You're able to, connect with people overseas and do all of these wonderful things, right? But what people are not noticing is that it dumbed a whole generation. Back in the day, you had to know about different things in this industry for you to make it. You had to know about copyrights. You had to know about publishing. Right. You had to know about how to approach a DJ, the significance of the DJ. Right. You had to know a lot of different things where nowadays they got technology involved. So the artists, a lot of times they feel that, well, I don't need to know all that. I could just press a button and my music will be uploaded. DistroKid or TuneCore, whatever, they'll take care of everything else. They'll put it on all the platforms, or man, I could go and get this feature from this artist that's already out there. And I pay this 10 bands to him. I'm going to be on because I got a feature with him. All I got to do is just put it up on YouTube and people are magically going to come to my page and watch it.
That's true.
Right.
Thanks.
But if people knew the business, right, a lot of these problems that go on today would not be happening. So going back to your question, my passion lies within the fact of trying, let's make this industry great again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do, man. I got one quick question for you before I pass the mic. So you said you sing. Were you more like KC from Jodeci or like Teddy Pendergrass, or were you like on a whole nother flavor? I'm just curious.
I would say I don't know. I was a tenor. Okay. So I was able to go first tenor down to baritone down to whatever. Some people say that I had a voice like quote unquote in a way Luther a little bit.
Okay.
I hear your voice. I hear that tone.
And I actually sang at my wedding when I married my wife. I sang Always and Forever to her. Had her crying.
Nice.
Damn, that was always song too, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. She heard them vocals, boy. The night of my wedding was great, man.
I know that's right.
But yeah, it was very, very entertaining. But this business though, I just feel that it's dumbed a lot of people down, not just the artists.
Yeah.
I'm talking producers, managers, booking agents, all of them. Because of the fact that, one, there are laws that are changing, legislation that's being implemented to keep the business in check. Have you ever wondered why every genre except hip hop does not have an age limit?
Yes.
Now, peep game. Watch this. Hip hop appeals to, it appeals a lot to the higher community, but we'll just say to the lower community, the middle, lower class community, right? A lot of people see it as a way to get out, right? And things of that nature. Well, I can't do this, or I got a felony, or this or that. So I'm going to hit these bars and I'm going to make my, what have you. They see it through when other people get on and they're put in position that were in the same basket as they were. But what they're not seeing is the politics behind the glamour. Okay. A lot of these artists, when we sit up here and we say, how did that get on the radio? Like he's garbage. Or how did that? You know, relationships are real in this business. Not only relationships, but that almighty dollar. And when you put to break a record, right? And I'm going to say this, and it's official. You know, to really break a record on a national scale, if you don't have 200 to 250 bands, turn around and find another career. And I'm going to just put it blunt, just like that. Now, there are ways that you could build yourself up to that. And if you're moving right.
Sure.
With the right relationships. And you have the right team. And you have the right mindset. But most of these cats are too high to even have a mindset.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
So if I can go and if I got to hook up on download cards, right?
Right.
And let's just say, hypothetically speaking, I could get download cards for $500. I could get 5,000 download cards custom for $500, right? Which I can't, but hypothetically speaking. So you saw I put that plug in there, didn't you, Corey? That's what you saw.
You said hypothetically.
But when you look at it, if you're out here hustling, selling your product, you can sell those for $1 a piece and still make 10 times profit.
Yeah.
The smart thing to do would be to give 1,000 of them out and then sell the rest of them. But when you're high or when you're, and I'm not speaking bad on people that get high, man, you know, because at one time I used to blow my ass off with weed.
Right.
And that's the only thing I got high with was weed. You know, but in doing that, I feel personally that it hurt me more than helped me.
Right.
There's so many opportunities and so many different things that I could have done and done better and been better off if I was completely 100% in my right mind focused.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I know people that can smoke and they'll be focused. They'll be good. That's on them. I'm talking about me right now.
Right.
So if you know you personally and you know that when you get high, that's, you know, you're not going to be right. Why would you want to do it and include business with it?
Right.
I just had to touch on that real quick.
You know, Nipsey Hussle brought that up too, because he was like, yeah, I like to smoke weed, but when, you know, the last 6 months here, I've been completely sober. I mean, everybody can't do what Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg do. Like,
exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can smoke weed all day and still function. If you can't do that and you trying to be cool or you trying to hide from something else mentally, it's not going to work. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So, you know, but right now, going back to the question again, right now, I just feel that right now the world needs me. You know, and I say that with the most humblest I can. I feel that the world needs me because I'm going to tell it like it is. And I'm going to tell them the right way about doing it because I'm being taught, the people I'm being taught by are the people that are breaking these records. They're the people that do Megan, the one that broke Megan Thee Stallion, the one that broke Little Baby. These are my partners that I work with on a day-to-day basis. And they give me jewels every day. Like, I don't know how many times I talked to Corey when we was working together. And man, look what I just found out. Look at this, look at that, you know, blah, blah, blah. Because I love to share information. But I've also learned that everybody ain't ready for what you got to say.
That's true.
That's a fact.
Absolutely.
you know. So sometimes you just gotta let them bump their heads a couple of times, and then maybe they'll be ready if it's not a personal thing.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like you talk about you picking up gems. You have dropped several. We're only a few minutes in. Okay. And you have dropped several gems, and you are so necessary, right? Your candor is so necessary, right? People have been afraid to speak the truth, right? Because they don't want to ruffle feathers. So I am in so much appreciation that you are not afraid to do that. And that you are telling it like it is. And I could already tell we're going to go off script here a bit because I got like 5 questions coming from what you said. But one thing I want to hit first, okay, you talked about, and I love the origin story, right? It reminds me a little bit of our last episode, Martinez White, when he was talking about his father was super influential too, right? So you come from these amazing creative, right, parents who are not only creative but have to have that business side to be successful in it, right? So you talked about having both those sides, and then being, you know, classically trained and having a degree and being able to teach music, and then also having that marketing side. So with all that, plus the passion, plus the creativity, and plus I can just hear it in your rant, your love for your people and fellow artists, right? What is your life philosophy for success, right? What keeps you going? What's your mantra or your motto that keeps you going, that you really
come clean or don't come at all?
Okay.
And I've been saying that for years because of our company, but there's a message behind that. You know, you can take it many different ways. You know, come straight up or don't talk to me. You know, or you know, keep your mind right and you'll be all right. You know, I mean, if you're real with yourself, the universe will be real with you.
Thanks.
Say that again.
Right?
Man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I really love the acronym too of what come clean actually means.
Yeah. Creating other methods, empowering children, learning every avenue necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So in going and instructing those in the business, I'm creating a method, empowering their mindset, building other avenues for them to be successful, because the business has several avenues you can go and you can be successful. You don't have to be a singer. You don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be a producer. You don't have to be a manager. I mean, it's got so many different outlets, you know, at which you can make some pretty good money. You know, I mean, I got a friend of mine, and I hope he ain't gonna get mad for me saying his name, but I'm gonna say it anyway. My man Big Nino, he worked with Tupac, worked with Biggie, he worked with a lot of people. And he's actually the gentleman that recommended me and got me on board the Hall of Fame Hip Hop Awards, the board of directors.
Okay.
Nice.
So, you know, this man is so careful of even when he speaks to you. You can tell he's thinking. His choice of words are so precise. You know, his knowledge of the business is so direct, where it's like, okay, I know you've been through this. You know, I can tell by how we sitting up here speaking, you know, and between him and the rest of that board, shout out to the board, I've learned so much, and I've been in this business for now going on 30 years.
Right.
And I've been on this board I got on the board right before I went into the hospital this last time. So I would say about 6 months, 5, 6 months. And I feel that I've learned more in that 5 or 6 months than I've learned half my career.
Wow.
You know, these are some pretty influential people, and they've helped me a lot. Like, they've opened some serious doors for me. You know, from you know, meeting other people in the marketing aspect of things to, you know, now having a movie there. I was talking to the gentleman today from the film company, they're doing a movie on my life, and so and it's going to be a major production. So they're asking me, you know, that I have to choose from a bunch of script writers. They have like 30, 40 script writers.
Right.
And I got to audition all of these people, or interview them rather, and pick 2, you know, and it's kind of crazy doing that to me, because I'm like,
yeah.
you know, like I gotta tell these people my business.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You know
Gotta be good.
So, you know, but it's like, I know that my story is gonna help somebody. It's going to help somebody. You know, within the past 3 years, I've had near-death experiences twice. You know, have life after death experiences twice. So it's not a, when I think of all this and what's going on, it's just like, it's the universe. It's the universe working, and God allowing me to be used as a vessel just to help others. But at the same time, the key is keeping yourself right with the universe. And how you do that is that you watch what you say and you watch how you move, because we as humans, we have been given a power, and that power is in the frequency of our voice.
I believe that.
To make things happen, the universe will bow down to you. You know, it will literally bow down to you and bring it back to you when you speak it and you walk in it. Like when I say walk in it, you got to believe what you're saying, that it's law, that it's facts.
Yeah.
You know, when I created the Grassroots Music Seminar and Showcase Tour, I did this in 2019, 2020, not knowing what it would be today, where I have some of the most major influences in hip hop backing me on this tour. I never knew this was going to happen, but I just knew that I was going to make something happen, you know, and I relied on, you know, the universe and God to be with me, and, you know, to reach out to those that I felt had good vibes around me. Because if you got bad vibes around you, you're in trouble.
Yeah, so important.
You know, you gotta have that good energy. Is everything.
That's a fact.
Man, energy is everything. So when my energy is off, I try to go off somewhere, you know, and deal with that with myself. But I don't try to project it on others. You know, I try not to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's wise.
So, so one of the most, you know, for the conversations that we've had in the talks, you know, one of the most impressive things that I've found, you know, in our conversations is how you've built this incredible, complex network of people that are a text and a phone call away. You do not come across a lot of people that have such a depth of a network to be able to tap into to make things happen and to get things to move. Every time we talk, you know, it's when you're dropping those jewels, it's like, oh, I didn't know you knew that person too. Oh, I didn't know you knew that person too. Oh, you talked to who? You was on the call with who? And for people in the music industry that, you know, I've noticed that a lot of people have struggled with networking. With I have my crew, I have my circle, but who do I know outside my circle that can help me get to that next level? So, you know, my question to you is, you know, for people that are watching that are, you know, looking to start to network, how did you go about building and growing that network over time? And is there a good way to network versus a bad way to network? What about that process could you share with folks?
Okay, so a good way in which how I personally built my network was that I traveled. I did a lot of traveling. I hit the road. I mean, there's one thing to vibe with people over the phone or on the email.
Right.
There's another thing when you're in their face.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're looking at them in their eyes, and they see the seriousness. They feel the vibe.
Right.
You know, and what tends to happen is that if you've left a good vibe with that person, they will introduce you to others and give them that nod, like this man is a good dude, woo out the wham. Because some of the people I've never met in my life, some of the people that I network with, but I made tons of money with them, tons, you know? So it's like, you know, you can't be afraid to go up to these people.
Right.
You know, a lot of artists, they get shook. They get starstruck. You got to put yourself in the mind frame of he's another person just like me. The only difference is that he's got more zeros in his bank account.
Right.
Word.
So in order for me to get like him, I got to figure out what did he do to get there.
Right.
And I don't talk to the artist. See, that's where I think, to be honest with you, a lot of my successes come from. If Jeezy pops up, I'm not interested in meeting Jeezy. I want to meet his manager. I want to meet his PR. I want to meet the people behind the scenes that make it happen.
Right.
Because those are the people that at the end of the day, you're going to be talking to, or you want to talk to, or you want to reach out. Those are the people with the major networks.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, when I was managing Jazzo, and, you know, I'm in New York, and it's crazy because Jazzo is like a legend in New York. You know, he's the man that started Jay-Z. I mean, everybody loves Jazzo, right? So we up there. Now, I find myself sitting in Rock Nation at the offices. Mind you, they don't allow pictures in the office.
Okay.
And I don't know if some of y'all seen that picture with me standing in front of the Rock Nation emblem or whatever in the office. And that was because of that I was with Jazz. They was like, no, go ahead, y'all can take the picture. You know. But when I was up in there, I wasn't afraid to talk to no damn body. I didn't give a hell who you was. Because to me, this was my opportunity to network with those that I needed to network with to find out what I need to find out. You know, so I came about it that way, and they saw that. And, you know, even though I knew the vice president, their sweetness of equity, you know, we really gelled real good because I brought you got to bring something to the table.
Right.
At the end of the day. And what I was bringing to the table was my partner, shout out J Trax. My partner manages R-Truth from WWE. I don't know if y'all watch wrestling or not, but that's a whole different tax bracket. You feel me? That's a whole different lane of money. You know, we talking Viacom and all the big corporations now.
Okay.
You know, you talking Vince McMahon, you talking big money. So I managed to get a situation where R-Truth and Jazzo were going to do a record together. You know, and they came up to Rock Nation. We all was there in the office, you know, and like it was crazy because just off of that situation, I ended up being invited to Jada Kiss's after party or listening party, which was private. So all of Def Jam was there. half the Rough Riders was there. Like, it was nuts. Busta Rhymes showed up, Raekwon, like all of the big boys from New York was in the building because that's Jadakiss.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, and I felt kind of honored because, you know, people was introduced. Yeah, this Jazzo's manager, chill, woo woo. And I'm sitting there like, you know, like these people really respected me. You know, I ain't got to tell them where I'm from. Just off of that, they didn't care. It was like, what up, bro? What up, God? You know what I mean? So, and I got so many jewels dropped to me that night. Just from being in there, and you know, my people from Def Jam just drop and steady drop to this day. You know, me and one of my best friends in this business is at Def Jam, Big Hef, and that man constantly dropping jewels on me every time. You know, and you know, my mind, I be wanting people to pick my mind sometimes. You know, because that's why I say that I feel that I have something to offer, you know, and it frustrates me when I'm in a city and I feel that they don't do that. Like Madison, you know, like I've been around Madison for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I mentored some of the people that people now look up to, you know, and I'm like, I'm doing all these different things or whatever, but at the same time, I want to bring it back home. Madison's not my home. Chicago's my home, you know, and they accept, we just did a thing where they were honoring me in Chicago along with other legends.
Nice.
You know, but I come to Madison and then there's that different aura, you know, it switches and it's like, I'm trying, you don't get it. I'm trying to help you. I don't care about your money because frankly, you can't afford me. I'm trying to help you. Help me, help you, right?
Right.
So, you know, it just gets a little frustrating when you know you got the tools, you know you got the knowledge, you know you got the network, but the people are not, the artists are not willing to invest in themselves. You know, that's the biggest one. That's my biggest issue. I can work with everything else. But if you tell me, if I tell you, come to me and say, man, help me, and I say, okay, well, what's your budget? You know, we can work with it. I say, oh, man, I ain't got no budget. But you sitting here with, I don't know how many zones in your pocket of that good. But you ain't got no money for your career. You know what I mean? So, and I get it. Artists get ripped off. But you know what? That's their damn fault because you didn't do your homework.
Right.
If you did your homework, you wouldn't get ripped off. So common sense, listen to a person that's trying to give you the game so that you can't be taken by the game.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Chill, like, I mean, I feel like you hit it on the head when someone asks about budgeting, they just kind of back up. I mean, that's part of business. Like, you got to look at this as a business. And people ain't picking your brain. That's crazy, which is why I'm going to pick your brain right now. And hopefully you give me some jewels. I know you will. I know that you know, in the past, you've had some collaborations with huge labels. You already mentioned Def Jam, and you know, one of them and was Rap A Lot, right? That you've done some work with, and I don't know, did you get a chance to kind of sit down with Jay Prince at all? And if you did, actually, I look at Jay Prince as almost like before Master P. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the blueprint for Master P. So, if there's anything that he shared with you, I would love to just hear like your wisdom and knowledge about that experience.
The thing with Jay is in a world of his own. The wisdom that man holds is beyond explanation, to be very honest with you. he is the most intentional listener. If you heard what I just said, intentional listener.
Yep.
Like that man will hear everything that you're saying word for word and take it as you said it, word for word. You see, and that I believe is one of the keys of why he's so successful. You know, a lot of people like we'll listen to people, but we won't listen to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and with Jay, it was just different. You know, I remember riding in the car one time. It was me, my partner Easy, Jay Prince, and there was an artist sitting next to me. And I actually got a video clip of this too. We were all in the car and we were talking about different stuff, and he made some pretty serious comments concerning the state of hip hop. You know, and how he felt where it was at this point, what needed to be done. You know, and when you move with him, the man don't sleep. He don't sleep. He don't get tired. I don't know where. I'm telling you, literally, we was with this man all day long. And we were down there. We went side by side when we drove from Houston to Austin, right? Now, mind you, we just took a long drive. Right. So then we're like, man, we got to get back to Houston because we got a thing to do in Houston. So we turn around. Now, mind you, you know how South by Southwest is, you walking everywhere, right? Everybody walking everywhere. So I just got through walking about 2-3 miles. So, you know, my fat butt, I'm like, man, look, I got to sit down, grab me some smoothie or something, right? So, you know, Jay looking at me like, man, you better get yourself right, young man. You know? I'm like, okay, all right. So we get back to Houston. We go to this club. And it's packed. Like, when I tell you this thing is packed, it was packed, okay? Like, I'm not going up in there packed. Like, that's too much for me.
Sure.
Of course, they had us go around, and we went through our own little entry or what have you they had for us, and we went up in there, right? Jay stood up all night long. This man did not sit down. Not once. We wait for him to sit down. So I can sit down. I'm not sitting down right there. Sit down. You know? And my man E was like, bro, don't sit down. Don't sit down. Stay on your P's and Q's, bro, you know. Because what it is, Jay'll just leave. Like when he ready to go, he's gone. And you better be, you know, right there with him. And by me being in the car with him, I had to make sure that I was steady watching what was going on, you know. And but the man's energy, the man's drive, his ambition, his knowledge, his wisdom, like he is like a guru in this business. Right. A master guru, I would call him. You know, where now he's off in the other lanes, getting millions of dollars in boxing and all these other things, you know, which I strongly believe and suggest to all of the artists out there listening, get you more lanes. There's a reason why labels are sticking to 360 deals.
Yes.
You know, when they changed the legislation and had that cap on streaming where you can only make so much per stream. Okay, this is legislation. Okay, so now we're stuck. We were making too much money in the old days.
Mm-hmm.
And the powers that be saw a problem with that because now you giving people that are Black, Latino, of other races an opportunity to get a foundation so solid that they could get richer than you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
So what happens? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put in their mind that they can make it independently without any major, without anything. Just they go and they do their thing, make it seem like they're free in this business, but we're gonna lock down how much they're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
I could go and get a download card and go and say, give me $5 for this card. That's $5 in cash I'm getting right then and there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I have to wait for 3 months for me to get
Yes. Yes.
point.
Yes.
Half.
Man.
Speak that truth.
You see what I'm saying? So
Robbery.
watch this. I'm about to drop a jewel on you. Watch this. I love this comparison. So say you doing your thing, right? You hit 1 million streams on Spotify. Would you not say that that's pretty damn good for an independent artist?
Pretty damn
I'd say
good.
so.
If you hit 1 million streams, you only getting $42.50. But if I was out there hustling and sold out of my trunk, $1 a piece. Now watch this. How much money do you have to put into yourself in order to even get that 1 million streams?
Right.
It's gonna be more than $42.50.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Absolutely.
So by that being the case, the Def Jams and the Sonys, hold on, wait a minute. If we're giving this person $100,000 advance, which ain't nothing, right? People looking for 500,000, $1 million, all this, right? Oh, I'm gonna go get a check. I'm gonna get a bag from them. Okay, go get your bag. But remember, you got to pay that money back to the label. Your streams that you getting, now mind you, they just gave you an advance of $100K.
Right.
That's not counting the marketing budget that they're going to have to put behind you to make it work. So let's just say, let's give it a low number, 50 bands in marketing. A low number. Okay, we just trying to get them known from Madison to Chicago to possibly. That's just off the marketing and the advance.
Yeah.
Now let's go into the production of the project. The videos, all of that. So let's say after everything is said and done, you owe the label $250,000. But you got $100,000 in your pocket, right? So the label now looks at that and they say, okay, how am I going to get my money back from this dude? You know, every 1 million streams is only $42.50.
Right.
So if I get 50 million streams, 50 million streams, that'll be a little bit over $200,000, a little bit over, right? So if it's a little bit over $200,000 on 50 million streams, first of all, ain't no way you're gonna get 50 million streams off of a $50,000 budget.
Yep.
Okay. Second of all, you locked into that contract until you pay them folks.
Right.
Like you got to give them their money. It don't matter. Most contracts will read and tell you after the fact, when this term is over and you still owe us some money, we collect it.
Right.
So how long do you think it'll take you to make 50 million streams?
Mm-hmm.
So what does the label have to do? They have to look at that and say, okay, well, now we need a piece of this merchandising.
Right.
We need a piece of this over here, that over there. Oh, you acting? We need a piece of that. We need a piece of that. So now, does it look so crazy that they're doing 360 deals now that you know the business side of things?
Right.
Why your stupid ass gotta ask him for $100,000 in the first place? You made it this far, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if they're gonna put money behind you, let them put the money behind you, but get paid off your show money and get paid off your merchandising. Yeah, they're getting a piece of that, but it won't last long because you didn't take that advance.
Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that goes back to having the know-how, the smarts, and the patience, and being sober-minded to be able to make these key decisions. You know what I'm saying? Because this industry don't really give a damn about you if you ain't breaking a record, if you ain't whatever. You just a spot on the wall of them.
Right.
And that's what's real. They can give a damn.
I know what they need to do. They need to talk to you and develop some sort of a strategy to make this happen with with whatever budget that they got. And it sounds like you, which from what I'm understanding is that you wasted a lot. A lot of people are wasting times looking at these bags that they think is big when they really kind of basically stealing from you and putting you in a situation where you don't have a lot of leverage going forward. You know.
You know what though, D? I think that the artists put themselves in that situation too.
Right.
Yeah, but they don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them really don't, and a lot of them don't care because you're looking at people that are coming from backgrounds where they have nothing.
Right. Right.
You know, and they just struggling, really wanting something. You know, like I'll give you a perfect example, not of a person that's struggling wanting something, but if you do it right, what can happen? I had a client by the name of Scoot. I remember, Corey, I think I was around you when I had Scoot as a client. But we ended up, Scoot came to me and I told him up front, bro, I need the budget. If you want to make something happen, we can make something happen, but I need the budget.
Right.
So he came to me with $9,000. I said, okay. I ended up, for his distributor, I ended up working him a deal with Sony Orchard, right? So we had them as his distributor. Not a deal, but as a distributor. Okay, there's a difference, right? So we start the campaign, and when we started it, it was like right in the beginning of when COVID just hit. Like they were shutting everything down. They said no more shows, no nothing. I was actually flying back from New York when that happened. In New York, they were saying was the big thing at first that it was hitting or whatever, and that it was hitting. And I am flying back on a plane from the damn place. You know?
Yeah.
So Scoot, and shout out to Scoot because he really, really, really listens. He listened to me when I told him, look, this is how we gonna do this because you don't have shows. There are no shows. So you have nothing where you can go physically and give people stuff to go and download or look you up or whatever.
Right.
So we're gonna create a strategy that's going to get these people to come to your platform. And I combined different strategies. Well, with him, I created two different strategies. And I combined the two strategies together. And it was all about timing. Timing and appealing. And I'm about to give y'all some free game. Normally I charge for this, but I'm going to give y'all some free game. But one of the main things that you want to do as an artist when you're trying to get someone to buy a record, you're looking at the demographic. It's a lot deeper than that. You know, that's just the start. what are the buying habits of your demographic?
Mm-hmm.
When you find out the buying habits, you then get what's called the trigger, right? If you don't know the buying, if you don't know what ticks me to buy something from you, how are you going to convince me to get on a computer, go to your site, and buy from you?
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole motion that I got to do, right? I got time to think while I'm going on my phone, while I'm doing all that, right? So it has to stir up your emotion, not your logic, but your emotion. Because if it was your logic would tell you, Negro, what the hell is you doing? You know, you're going to pay for this when you can take that money and go over here and do this, you know? But your emotion is saying, man, that song made me feel so good. I'm going to go and grab it because I need to hear that all the time.
Right.
Needless to say, by the end of the campaign, and this is in the pandemic, and it's worse, we had over 3 million streams. We had 227 websites and blogs, and over 65 FM radio stations playing his music in rotation.
Nice.
Across the country. And overseas, we had quite a few things going over there too. Shout out to my people in Africa and Canada. Love y'all. But it was to me, it was my chance to prove what I could do to the powers that be, because Sony was watching. Because right after that happened, they approached us and they audited us. Because at that time, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but Spotify had took out over 700,000 accounts. Because they were auditing everything. And a lot of PR people was just being bogus, having, giving people bots and all of this. And, you can go and download an actual app where I can go to your handle and put your handle in this app, and it will scan your thing and tell me how much of your following is real. They got ways to find out stuff.
Right.
So, but needless to say, Sony came to me at that time, and they didn't believe what we had did with Scoop. A man had just signed to them. We didn't use none of their resources or nothing. And we was doing better than the artists that they signed that they was working with. so they came and they did an audit. They said, something ain't right. So they did an audit. So 2 days later, I get a phone call. Well, yeah, everything came back good and blah, blah, blah. And the next sentence was, so tell us how you did it. And the next sentence after that was, I want to see the money.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
So they didn't too much like that sentence. But, at the end of the day, it was a thing where it was like, okay, we'll use your services some other time. We, how the corporate jingles go. So,
cool.
But that opened up, though, a lot of opportunities that came my way. I guess word got around, and in LA and in New York, and next thing I know, I got to getting phone calls. Can you help us with this project? Can you help us with this project? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I mean, so far, thank God, I've been successful, in what I've been doing. But I give people realistic expectations. I don't try to sell you a dream. This is not a dream. This is a business.
Right.
The difference between a business and a dream is something that you visualize and strive to get, right? In a nutshell, right?
Yep.
Right.
A business is something that you have and you're striving to build. Am I correct?
Yeah, I like that. I like
Absolutely.
that flip. Yeah.
Absolutely.
One thing is tangible, one thing is intangible.
Thanks.
Right.
Thanks. That's beautiful. So hella gems again. I think I'm gonna keep saying this throughout the show. So I'm feeling like definitely some themes that come from you, right? Number one, you're always learning, right? Like you were always soaking it up and you were valuing that learning as you go. So what I was going to ask was, what would you tell artists to invest in themselves? But you took us through the whole story, right? So for you, as you're this multi-hyphenate, as you are getting multiple streams of income, as you, what'd you put? Get more lanes, get you more lanes. Okay, I wrote that down because that is fire. You know, how did you start investing in yourself? What did that look like for you when you're saying, okay, dream now, business, how I'm gonna do it? What were the steps that you took that invested in yourself that allowed you to build like you have?
The first thing I did was start developing the relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships are everything in this business. You can have tons of money, but if you ain't got the relationships, your money just gonna sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, you gotta develop the relationships and work on your craft.
Mm-hmm.
You know your lane. You know, even though I'm a singer, I knew my lane was business.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And I can out-sing half these motherfuckers in Madison. But I know my lane is teaching and mentoring and helping. You see what I'm saying? So I focus strategically on that, but it's like I took a concept, right? And all of these different lanes are coming at me. It's a different lane, but the same concept.
Mm-hmm.
A different lane, but I treat it the same in how I work it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I treat it the same. Therefore, when it's all said and done, it can never be said that 100% wasn't put in. It can never be said that I didn't use what I had available to me, because I do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's what I do. So it's about creating habits, creating like good habits that will stick with you throughout this business. Certain things I do, certain things I don't do. You know, and that's helped me in my success because I do it. It becomes second nature. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It becomes second nature. When a person gives me their music and I'm taking them seriously, I immediately go and I see if they're registered. I see if they have what have you, or whatever it may be. I'm just going through my little system that I have. You know what I'm saying? I ask around about them. You know, I do my due diligence in my homework.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yes, a budget is needed, but if the drive is there, if the professionalism is there,
Right.
if the common sense is there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the you know, the ability to take in what's real is there, then that's something that I could work with, you know, and get you to the point where you get an investor, or start you where you could just like do the download cards. I'm sure you could get $500 from somebody. Let's go and turn that 500 to 25,000, $5 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you're really serious about your career, you will separate business from personal.
Right.
Now, peep game. When I say separate business and personal, that means when you're out there selling them download cards, you take that money and you put it away.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You pretend it ain't even there. You stack it. It's a business. Your personal is your personal.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, you out here busting your butt. You out here spending your guy. But wait till this is done. When that's done, then you can turn around and say, okay, I'm going to set aside this much for me. And then I'll take the rest of this and invest it right back into my career.
Right.
You know, what happened? Now you sold 5,000 copies. You just got 25 grand. Well, you took 5 of that, put it in your pocket, took the other 20. Now you got a budget.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
So I always like to try and make sure that people are aware of the origins, because many times, I mean, everybody that has come on as at different levels of success, and I think I always talk about this with the Facebook and Instagram phenomenon, that we always see where they at, but never heard from which they've come. So I have a 2-part question for you, because I'm kind of curious on something myself. But even with all our conversations that we've never talked about, but I also want to equate this over to some of our listeners. This question, I'll put out both questions to you. The first one would be 9 to 5. Have you ever had a 9 to 5 before starting this journey of what I like to call music entrepreneurship?
Yes, I have. And I was the best at what I did.
I want to hear about that. My second question is, when do you believe it's time for artists to transition from that 9 to 5 to move into what they're trying to pursue as an artist?
My personal and humble opinion is that never, unless you develop yourself another consistent form of income that is able to not only provide the necessities in your day-to-day, but also enough for you to save up where you can get that 3 to 6 month emergency backlog that you may need, just in case another pandemic comes around or something. You should keep that job.
Right.
You know, people bad talk jobs, but guess what? If you ain't got one, it don't sound so bad.
Okay.
You know? And besides, who's gonna finance your career?
Bingo.
Right.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I work at McDonald's for $10, $11 an hour because I know where I'm going with it. This ain't my end to all.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could take that $10 an hour if I'm bringing home $300-400 a week or whatever it is. You know, I bring that home. I'm putting so much of that to the side for my business.
Right.
You know, at the same time, I'm thinking of creative ways to get other streams of revenue legally going. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the key is developing different streams and creating different. We are creators. That's what we do.
Right.
So you create different avenues for you to get the bread.
Right.
You know, and when you do that, you can take the money that you're making from your 9 to 5 and invest it in it. I'm gonna tell you how I managed to kind of sway away from the job market, right? I've always been in the concert promotions.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And one good concert have you sitting pretty. Or one bad concert into this show a while back. And it turned out very well for me. You know, I was able to do some things and make a few moves, but I still never quit my job. You know, when I quit my job is when I actually retired from the military. When they retired me, and I knew I had a steady income coming in that would still support my family, then I was good with that. You know, But for those that may not be as blessed to get that, you know, it's about stacking your money and creating. As long as you're creating avenues to get money, you're gonna get money.
Right.
Yeah.
You just have to stay focused on all of the avenues, which can be hard. But with one principle: honesty, integrity, discipline. Those things will take this little money and make it into bigger money. Why? Because I developed this relationship by working with this person over here, spending money with him. He gets me to this level. Now he ready to introduce me to his partner. Why? Because I just built a relationship with him.
Right.
Now his partner coming with something, another opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? So now it's like, whoa, you know?
Right.
You know, like perfect example, how I even got on the board for the Hall of Fame Hip Hop Awards. That was through other people that saw what I was doing, saw the type of people I was working with, and they had watched me for like a year already.
Right.
You know, before they even approached me. So you never know who's watching you.
Yeah, that part.
Right.
You know, especially in this business. Like there's people I'm watching right now. They don't even know I'm watching them. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the hell out of that. You know, but you know, it's because I see something in them that can really work.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, what really helped me to get through all of this is when I had my medical situations, man. And it sounds crazy, but when you leave this earth and you move accordingly because you understand the power of the universe. Like when I went under this last time with that COVID, man, and I didn't even know I was gone. The doctors, they had me on life support for a week.
Oh, wow.
Man.
You know, and I was in another area. I was in another realm. I was talking, breathing, touching, all of this. I was somewhere else, like literally. The first time I had a little life after death, that was for a moment. But this time, I went through 4 to 5 different scenarios where I know now that I thought about everything, God was allowing me to be tested. And if I would have failed one of those tests, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Whew.
Wow.
That's deep.
You know, so you know, when I woke up, I was still in the ICU for like 6 weeks. You got a lot to think about when you can't have visitors because it's COVID, and you just in a room, just you, and a bunch of needles and shots and nurses coming in every day, all day.
Yeah.
You know, and I had a lot of time to reflect on where I was at, about life, about how you need to treat people, how people treat you. You know, it was like I couldn't walk at the time. I lost my capability of walking, just period.
Wow.
And this was the second time this happened because it happened the first time too. Remember that, Corey? But the second time this happened, and I felt it in my legs because I knew what to feel, you know, because it happened the first time.
Right.
So I'm sitting there knowing that I can't get up and walk. And, you know, when you're up for that long, you lose a lot of muscle. When you're gone for that long. I lost like 30 pounds of muscle. I wasn't able to control my bowels or anything. You know, so the nurses, because I couldn't feel it. I couldn't feel anything.
Man.
Right. Sure.
And so that really, I had a funny moment when I didn't even realize this happened, but my wife told me later on that the nurse went down and put the catheter in. And I told her, I said, you better get your ass down there. My wife gonna whoop your ass. You know? So, and they all was laughing and stuff, you know, but I was telling them, I remember this though, because I did see it. There were giant spiders crawling on the walls. Like, I physically remember this. There were giant spiders, hairy black spiders, crawling on the walls around me. Now, I don't know if it was the medicine or what it was. But all I know is it was some bugs that it wasn't supposed to be there. Right. So I'm steady telling the doctor and my wife, there's spiders on the wall. And they is cracking up at me, right? Then, you know, the little cord that they put that's going into your nose, that clips into your nose and stuff like that. I told them it was a lizard. I said, there's a lizard. Keep crawling up a nose, man.
They had you on something powerful, Chill.
Okay.
They had you on that good.
Man, boy. But, you know, I'm going to tell you how good God is. I went through all that. Do you realize within 2 weeks, I was up and walking with a cane? The doctors, they didn't understand it. They couldn't get it. Because they was like, it normally takes a person, in my case, like 6 months or so to really get stuff moving. 2 weeks, I was up walking with a cane. They sent me to a rehab facility, and I was only in there for a week and a half. You know, and I mean, man, like.
That's amazing. Like, first of all, praise God that you're here, right? Like, and second, like, thank you for sharing all of this with us, right? Because as I've been listening to you, like you don't care about clout.
Not me, sir, but you see what that is?
I can't read it.
No, we can't see
it. It says Universal Records. These are the kind of calls that I get at 8:00 in the evening. When my wife turning and looking at me like, who calling you this late?
Right.
You know. Things to prepare yourself coming into this business. I'm telling you, it's something else.
Yes. And shouts out to your wife, because she sounds like an amazing woman. She has been thread throughout your stories too. Yeah. I just feel like that is now, like, that's why, right? Like, you just have that clarity and you know what it is, and you're not worried about the clout. You're focused on the goal and the business that you have. And I feel like that is such a gem of knowledge that I can take, that our listeners can take, because that's that piece. You get hung up on all the other stuff and you lose focus, and you're trying to keep up with somebody else and you're not investing into yourself. So just like, you know, kudos would be too lame of a word, right? But just like, I'm so amazed at your story and how you shared it. And just like, seriously, the clarity that you bring is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. So I
appreciate that, Opal. That means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. I remember trying to get information about you when you was going through it, and it was hard, like, because people wasn't sure what to share. I was like just trying to find this person to that person, and then finally got some news back about you. And then when I finally saw you post again on Facebook, I was like, oh shit, he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's up, he's interactive, he's here, you know what I'm saying? So it is a blessing that you're here, man, for real.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That was a close one, but you know, God brought me through for a reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even with COVID out here, you know, my wife looks at me like, you crazy. You just went through all of that, but yeah, you ready to go on tour. And I'm like, you know what, though? I mean, I don't know what people's opinion are. I really don't care at this point about the shots and all that. That's their business, okay? But I went and I got mine, damn it. Because you wasn't lying in that bed for, you know what I mean? Wondering if you was going to be able to walk again or all of that. And I'm not saying that the shot is going to help you. And I'm not trying to get all off into that either. But I'm not saying that the shot is going to keep you from catching COVID, because what a lot of people don't understand is because they called it, what do they call it? A vaccine.
Right.
It's a play on words. And what does a vaccine do? It gets rid of stuff and it don't come back. That's what a real vaccine does.
Right, right.
This is a stimulant that they're giving you. A stimulant, and this is my opinion, to build up that immune system more so it can tolerate if you get that COVID or whatever, or Omicron or whatever you get, you know, that you won't be hospitalized at least.
Right.
You know, but they never said that they had something that would stop it, or I don't want to say stop it, but where you won't catch it.
Right.
You know, and I think that's where all the confusion came in my personal opinion. Now everybody's arguing over this stuff while people are steady dying.
Right.
You know, y'all arguing, but people dying.
Right.
And they dying in droves. Like dying in droves. You see, and people are like, well, that shot's going to change your DNA. Can't nothing change my DNA but God. I lost all damn mind.
Facts.
Explain to me how a liquid can become a chip in your body. I just want to know. I really just want to know, but I ain't gonna get all up into that. That's too political, you know, for my taste. But you know, that's just how I feel about it, and I feel that God has His hand on me. So you know, of course, I'm gonna do a lot of caution. I'm overly cautious when I'm placed. I keep sanitizer. Look, my buddy was laughing at me because we went to this event and I'm squirting everybody around me with the sanitizer. Like, dog, you gonna get this work. You gonna get that work.
Yeah.
You know, for real.
Sure.
You know, but yeah, I mean, you know, I just think that there's a lot of talent in Madison. And I strongly believe in it. I actually believe in the talent in Madison, that it can make it. There's a few people that I think with the right guidance that they can really do some big things in this business. But they just listening to the wrong people. How the hell are you going to listen to somebody that's not even in your lane? Or better yet, they in your lane, but they ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks.
I mean, seriously, like, regardless of what you know, like if you set up one thing about that I respect about one person in this area, Pain One. I've seen Pain One at different events. You know what I'm saying, I know what they're capable of.
Yeah.
You know, I know the people that deal with Fusion. You know what I mean? Like when Fusion saw me with that picture with Lord Sear, you know, from Shade 45. He's a program director down there at Shade 45. You know, Fusion and I had a long talk on the radio, on the phone about that. You know, it's like certain people, the industry ain't big at all. It's very small. So certain people, you gonna know if they really in this business or not.
Right.
You know, so if you haven't made it, you should be trying to get all the knowledge you can, because it's all business, man. You know, people say, well, there's 10% talent. Why do you feel the necessity why do you feel it's necessary to put talent in the equation? That's what I ask people. And they look at me like I'm crazy. Like, well, you got to be talented to get the deal. Well, tell that to some of these rappers you hear on the radio.
Right.
You know,
more complicated.
People don't understand that this business has become 100% business.
Yeah.
And if you don't catch on to that and don't get that, because just like you good, there's somebody else is better.
That's a fact.
That's true. It's true.
So if you know your business, though, that's what will separate you from the crowd.
Right. So speaking about business, is that kind of the focus of the grassroots seminar that you putting together and bringing people in from Madison and doing
the grassroots music seminar is really focused on bringing the artists, the DJs, and the industry together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When I say industry, managers, promoters, all of them together to learn collectively about each other's lane so that it can be more clear how to facilitate the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things, if you go on the website, which is www.grassrootsmusicseminar.com, you will find the whole meaning behind the vision. It's about education. That's what it's about. Education. Now the showcase that we have towards the end, that's great, but my main focus personally is educating and then going in and we do like a hands-on workshop where we physically show you. You take out your phone and we're going to physically show you how to do this.
Nice.
Rather than being up there at a lot of these seminars I see where everybody's up there, they're talking about the person and they give them all these praises and they ask the same doggone questions, which gets no one nowhere, and you leave there dumber than you did when you came in.
Right.
Yes.
But when you leave the grassroots, you're going to leave with something. And the showcase part of it, how it works is we're picking artists from each city to go and compete in the finals in Atlanta, October 22nd at the Atrium.
Okay.
And what they're competing for is the chance to get a distribution situation through Empire, and about 10 to 15 grand in promo, which can get them going.
Nice.
We're not giving you cash. We're going to give you the services.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I have a lot of pretty big people backing me with this, and they believe in it, and that's why one of the stops had to be Madison. It had to be Madison because I wanted to at least give people the opportunity, Now, first thing people want to think about when they say, okay, this thing is happening, how much is it going to cost for me to get on the thing or what have you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm making it where, it's going to cost you something, but it ain't going to break you. Yeah. And figure out 150, if you can't spend 150 into performing in front of the head A&R of No Limit, who's Sean Ross, who's the official host for the tour, and whoever else I may decide to bring in, could be Yaya from Universal, whoever, I got so many friends that are tight with me, like they coming in, they're asking me, where do you want us to come? So, but at the same time, I'm not going to have them come and be embarrassed either.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why I really, really want the city of Madison. It's time to come together and quit all the bickering and fighting over what ain't none of you niggas on. Let's keep it all the way 100.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't see no plaques on nobody's thing.
Yep.
I don't see nobody giving up $100 grand to the non-for-profit in the area to give back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep it real here.
Right.
We all should work together to try to accomplish a common goal.
Yes.
Am I rich? No. Am I broke? No.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to give it to you? No. But what I can give you is the knowledge to get to it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, man, like the grassroots, that's my baby. And I just really, man, it's going to be something that Madison needs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not talking about no type of things that have been done in the past, you know, with the seminars and stuff and all the people doing it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I can guarantee you that it's not going to be as informative as this. Because I'm going to purposely make it that way. When we do Q&As, I'm already going to have questions already mapped out and ready to ask. So the crowd, y'all can sit there all y'all want and look dumb. Like, because a lot of artists, they do that because they're embarrassed. They don't want to make it seem like, you know, they're the dumb one in the group or whatever. You know, but once the questions get to flowing, they then get a little loose. You know, well, he asked that, I'm going to ask that. You know, and stuff like that. So, you know, I mean, man, I just want to bring something back, man.
Right.
That's all I want to do. I want to bring something back to the city that embraced me.
Right.
You know, this city embraced me when it didn't have to. Chicago embraced me because I'm from there. That's my home.
Right.
You know, I'm not from Madison. I'm not from Beloit, but I came up here and I tried to make a difference. You know, so now that I'm in a position to help, that's what I'm trying to do.
That's 100. I'm gonna put this website up one more time. That Madison date. Do you remember off the top of your head what the Madison date is, to make sure that people can take notes and put it in their schedule?
I believe the date is May 28th, but let me go on this website here and make sure, because I don't want to give people the wrong date. That's all I need is somebody looking at me crazy. But you said, you know, but yeah, we just added some more dates too. Yeah, we got like
in Milwaukee. You guys will be in Twin Cities as well. I know you added. I think you added Detroit.
Yeah, and we added Charleston or Charlotte, North Carolina.
North Carolina, yep.
For June, and the latter part of June. Madison, yep, May 28th. Then June 10th, we're in North Charleston, South Carolina. You know, then after that, we're in North Carolina. Then they talking about giving us another day to Fayette, North Carolina. So, and then we didn't even put up Atlanta yet as the final stop, but that'll all be done.
Perfect.
You know, and stuff like that, man. So
for our listeners, you know, for our viewers, y'all saw the website, but I'll say the website for our listeners. That is www.grassrootsmusicseminar.com. So make sure to check that out. Make sure to sign up. Make sure, like I said, the tour is everywhere in the Midwest. If you can't make the Madison one, there's no reason for you not to pop over to Milwaukee. There's no reason for you not to take that trip down to Illinois, Twin Cities, or whatever. This is something that you definitely need to be at and be a part of. And if you learned, and I know that you guys learned plenty during this conversation, but you're going to learn even more at this seminar. So make sure that you hit the website and make sure that you sign up to attend this seminar. Before we close things out, we always like to do book recommendations. I didn't know if there was something that you've recently read or something that's been referred to you as a book that, you know, our listeners may find interesting.
There is a book that I recommend, but it's a general book. Okay. It's nothing specific towards the music business. It can be applied to the music business and everything else that you do.
Oh, you got it right behind him.
Okay.
You prepared.
Building an Empire.
Building an Empire.
Building an Empire. And it's it's written by Brian Crothers. And it's funny because the book itself is a blueprint to building like a huge like network marketing business, right? But those same concepts, if you use them in your day-to-day, as far as with the music business or any type of business that you're looking to build, you will be amazed at what you come up with.
Nice.
You will be amazed at how things work. I always tell people as far as the music industry goes, read every damn thing you could get your hands on.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
There's no certain book that I would recommend because I've read a lot of them and some of them are repetitive,
Right.
But there are key things that you want to read on, such as publishing, how it works.
Yes.
You want to read, or everybody knows about copyrights, right? But do you know about the 6 elements of copyrights? There's a ton of stuff when it goes to marketing, reading the demographic and then being able to read the shift when it happens, being able to look at the numbers and compare the numbers quarter by quarter and be able to say, okay, these numbers are going to be at XYZ by this time. That takes a lot of just studying the algorithms, studying the repetitiveness. There's certain things in this business that are just repetitive.
Yep.
And if you can catch on to it and then combine it with other things that are just happening around you, such as legislation, then you'll be a monster.
Yeah. I think it's so right. Like business is business. And when it comes to music, we forget that because there's so much of the shiny stuff going on around it. But you're absolutely right. At the end of the day, business is business.
Yeah. The key is to become an outstanding businessman.
Right.
Not an outstanding performer. Allow your business to perform for you.
It's a gem right there.
Right. What you leaving us with?
Facts. Can y'all hear me, y'all? I'm sorry, I got kicked out for some reason, but
yeah, no worries.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, coming in clear.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us for the Black Currency Podcast. Man, unlimited amount of gems. I know y'all gonna be playing this one back. I know I'm gonna be playing this one back a couple of times to make sure I got everything right. But as we said before, make sure to check out the website, grassrootsmusicseminar.com. I don't know why he won't pub this, but I'll pub this. ComeCleanEmpire.net as well. You should check that out. You can see, he has his bio up there. You can see all the different avenues, some of the different avenues. They aren't even all on the website, but you still get a taste and a flavor of some of the different avenues that Chill has going on with Come Clean Empire. We are so thankful that you joined us and were a part of this conversation and the value that you not only gave us, but our listeners. We can't thank you enough for that.
I just can't thank you guys enough for having me, for real. It is really a pleasure. You guys are a class act. You have some podcasts that I had to turn down because they too ghetto. I gotta keep it real, for real. I understand being loose, but we gotta have some sort of professionalism,
Yeah, we need some balance. Yeah,
you gotta have that balance, man. I don't care about you smoking a blunt, but damn, Can you wait?
Can you wait?
You gotta light up right now, like for real, like.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely appreciate hearing your voice and seeing you and talking with you. And I'm good. I mean, you dropped so much information and knowledge on us and your experiences, and I'm just excited to see what you're gonna do next, man. Like for real.
Oh, I got some stuff coming up.
I know you do.
I got a trick. But make sure you guys tune in every Friday, which is tomorrow, and every Sunday and Tuesday on Sirius XM channel 142, the HBCU channel.
All right.
So yes, we target the millennials.
Yes.
And do that purposely. Please listen in. We have a great interview tomorrow. Man, it's a lot that's happening right now, man. And I wish I could talk about it all, but especially this one thing that's been on my, and I almost spit it out, but I was like, I can't do that. I just can't do that right now. But just know that there is, and I ain't talking about my show, but there is a very well-known underground movie that came out a long time ago, right? Okay. And I'll give you a hint. It involved Jamaicans, right? A movie that came out, sold millions and millions of copies, right? They're in the process now of finishing out part 2. The guy that financed the first one was my partner. He raised over $3 million for the movie. So this one here, they're trying to get me involved on the placement side of things for the soundtrack.
Nice.
You know? So, I
got a couple ideas. I ain't gonna say it,
but it's huge, man. It's huge. And I just feel honored when I got that call. I called Corey and told him about it because he's like my buddy. He's the one I call when I got something to complain about. Or what have you, I need to get y'all numbers too, but so I can call you while you at work. Man, let me tell you what just happened. But yeah, man, I just, man, it's a blessing. Anything that I can do to help you guys in any sort of way, shape, or form with the podcast, regardless of what it may be, I have a lot of different avenues that I can help out with. I'm down. You know what I'm saying? I'm down. I don't think I'm holier and higher than thou. Let's get this money together.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
110. All right. Thank you so much once again for joining us. Now that you can't leak everything out, now we got to work on your return. We have to rebook you later so you can reveal everything else that you got going on. We'll definitely have to talk about the link up. All right.
Corey, I gotta mention before we leave, we are filming. Now I can say this.
Yes.
We are gonna start filming actually tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We're is the start of us filming a TV reality show in Madison.
Oh, sweet.
Okay.
That will be shopped to some pretty major outlets. And we already have major outlets for it to go on.
That's
so, nice. We got a full camera crew. It's gonna be big.
Right.
So I'm trying to, and it's not just gonna be black folks. I'm taking everybody, white folks, black folks, Chinese. I'm gonna take the damn dog you walk up in that mountain. Right. You know how they got the dogs in the little TikToks now, and mark at your dog roof, and you see the dog expression, and we're gonna be doing stuff like that. But everything is good though.
Good.
Everything is good.
Nice.
So make sure y'all get up with Corey about that reality show. You know, anybody that wants to be involved, bug him. You know, it's hey, we on and cracking, man. We on and cracking. Oh, well, I gotta hear some of your poetry.
For sure.
You know, you've been around all this time, and I ain't never been privileged. I caught you at the end one time because I walked in late, and I was like, man, this is a bull crap. You know, I can never catch because I be trying to catch people when they don't think I'm listening or watching them. So I can see how they really are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And man, you had just stepped off the thing. I was like, dang.
Yeah. There'll be more opportunities.
My eyes are on you. I'm listening.
I love it.
Someone's always watching.
Yeah. And I'm waiting to hear some of them tracks, D-Lo.
I got you. I got some stuff. I got some stuff I'm cooking up for sure.
Yeah. And Corey, you could just kiss my ass. You know? But you know you my man's, dog. You my man's, man. You my man's, like for real. So yeah, I guess man, I didn't put out there everything that not everything, but most of the things that I could put out. And if anybody's looking to do some stuff overseas, let me know. I got some stuff going on in Africa. We opened up a distribution, actually a physical distribution outlet out there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in Kenya.
That's dope. Kenya is popping. When you talk about the financial industry, Kenya is popping.
It really is.
Nice.
And what's funny is, you know, you never know. This is another thing. These countries, everyone has a different PRO.
Right. Yeah.
It's not just Sound Exchange. People think that they can just register with Sound Exchange and then their stuff is gonna but there's all sorts of regulations in these countries that will get you screwed if you ain't following them, you know? And I didn't even know that at first. I thought it was just Sound Exchange. I was good overseas. But then I got to doing some research and you know, when me and my partner, who's my brother, shout out my brother Creep, we were investigating the legislation in these countries as far as, you know, having a musical store and, you know, the sale of music and what, you know, compliances, all of that stuff. And we was like, man, they got their own PROs. I ain't never heard of this one over here. And I ain't never heard of that one over there. What language is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's a whole different world out there, man. So I'm just excited to bring some of the knowledge here. And I wish that we could get everybody that we can at Media 22 when we have the grassroots seminar there.
Nice.
This is going to be very beneficial to everyone. Please come out. I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you've been in the game. That means nothing to us. Yeah. Because everybody been in the game 20 plus years that I'm dealing with this thing. Right. You know, and they're dealing with me to shoot the shakers. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope people come and we can have a successful learning experience.
Right. Yeah.
You know, to me, that's what finds the event. Right. This event. Yeah. It could be 20 people in there, but if everybody learned something, the event was successful.
Right. 100%.
You know.
All right, man. All right, Chill. We appreciate you joining us. All our listeners, much love. We appreciate y'all tuning in and sticking with us. You know, we're going to keep them coming. So make sure to check us out on IG at Black Currency Podcast, Facebook at Black Currency Podcast. And, you know, we got the video, we got the visual for y'all on youtube.com/radio22. All right, y'all. Chill. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir, y'all. Peace.
All right,
Peace.
Ain't you sick of giving me your money? I know he didn't do it, baby.
Whoa, where you going?
No, I'm about to go make these drop balls.